Hey guys.
Yeah.
So my name is Shraz Robinson II. I'm a high school graduate from Charles Herbert Flowers High School, a former science and tech member, and I'm a computer science major at The Ohio State University. So I have a question for you guys. So have any of you guys went to the hospital and filled out a questionnaire lately? Ah, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So yeah, so I'm gonna explain this to my presentation. Yep. So I'm here today to describe patient-reported outcomes within a simulated clinical trial. So I would like to talk about the 21st Century Cures Act. So about the 21st Century Cures Act, this was basically passed into law in 2016. And basically this says, basically this accelerates the medical product development, and it also brings new innovations, and it also pushes this medicine to people who really need it. Not to mention, it's also one part of the law also states that the FDA has to comment on patient experience data from a submitted application, and they also have to talk about how this data influenced their regulatory decision. So basically this summer, I was playing around with simulated clinical trial data, and basically we're going to be dealing with 200 patients with metastatic cancer. And a metastatic is basically a medical term for advanced cancer or expressed throughout the body. In cancer, you have like 4 stages. Stage 1, which is localized, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. It gets a little bit more diverse and it likes to diverge into different parts of the body. So here, you have 200 patients, so there's 2 groups. So you have 100 patients in the control group, and you have 100 patients inside the treatment group, and the two patient-reported outcomes that we're going to talk about is the quality of life, or QOL for short, and we're going to focus on fatigue. So on the later slides, we're going to show 2 graphical summaries of these different variables. So the first graph I would like to show is the mean score over time graph. So mean QOL over time is basically, we're looking at the mean quality of life. So according to the graph, you would see that the treatment arm has a higher quality of life than the control arm. Now, the lines that are coming out of the points is error bars. So we're going to represent the 95% confidence intervals. And now we're looking at the response over time graph, and this is focused on fatigue interference. So this will be one of the questions that we ask one of the cancer patients, and these are the different outcomes that you would see. Some patients might not put nothing in there, or it could be missing. It can be very much, quite a bit, somewhat, a little bit, and not at all. But what we're going to focus on is the dark blue underneath, and we're going to focus right now on week 0. If you look at the control group and the treatment group, you see 31 and 29. This is kind of like our baseline, and then over time, 4, 7, and week 11, you're going to see that the control group has less people that's fatigued than the treatment arm. So my summary, I learned how to describe PRO data from a simulated clinical trial, and I also learned how to create the mean score over time and the response over time graphs using Microsoft Excel. And I also learned how to create the stacked bar charts for the response over time graph using pivot charts and pivot tables on Microsoft Excel. I would like to thank Jason Schroeder. I would like to thank Lola, Alexander, and Mallory. I would like to thank Jason, Alexander, and Lola for helping me analyze the PRO data. And I would like to thank Mallory because I recycled some of her slides. Yes, we can!
I'm sorry, you're not taking questions?
No, I'm taking questions.
What would be some of the quality of life factors in your simulated clinical trial?
Yeah,
What would comprise that? what kinds of things would represent quality of life?
So when we think of quality of life, we can kind of look at, you know, their diet, like, are they like vomiting? Like, do they have like a lot of energy? There's a lot of factors when we think about quality of life. You think about their entire like energy state, like how does the cancer patient feel? So basically, they would kind of have like the scale maybe 0 to 4. But yeah, so basically when we collect this data, we can kind of see what type of treatment that the cancer patient prefers and stuff like that. We want the cancer patient to kind of feel comfortable getting treatment. And like from the data, like if you look at the response over time, you see that there's a lot of missing and a lot of nothings. And that's because either cancer patients died or they just didn't want to be part of the treatment because it was just too much, like it's too painful. So yeah, it's nice to get data from the patient because they kind of know what they're going through and they're like a first person source. They're very reliable and want to know what's exactly going on with them. So yeah, quality of life is just a great way to like better drug development and better treatments. I like to hear a lot of stuff from the patients and you can get a lot of stuff from that data.
Very good.
You have a question?
Since you're getting this information directly from the patients, how would you deal with children, pediatric patients, especially since sometimes they might not describe how they're feeling as best as an adult?
Good.
Well, for the children, I think we would need like conform like consent from like the parents. And I believe the parents should know like their children best. They might not verbally say how they feel, but they can tell by like the body language. And it doesn't matter just reading your kid. Like you should really know how your kid feels. So that would be something maybe the doctor would talk to the parents would talk to the doctor about that, and they would collect this some type of way. That's definitely a great question because these questionnaires are kind of towards like, you know, adults with metastatic cancer. It's like it's not really user friendly for like a child that has cancer. So that's definitely different. Maybe the statisticians definitely have to figure out a new way to collect data from like kids that have cancer.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good.
Very good.
I think that concludes our speakers.